Lavinaka, and welcome to today's webinar. This activity is part of the activities that we are implementing under the Upholding Citizens' Constitutional Rights for Democratic Consolidation on behalf of project partners. And the funding partner, European Union, would like to thank and welcome you. Thank you very much for taking time out. Thank you so much for your interest in this activity. And we look forward to your full participation in today's webinar. This project is funded by the European Union, and it is being led and implemented by International IDEA, which is the lead implementing organization for this project. Dialogue Fiji is, of course, the organizer of today's webinar, which is one of the activities that we are implementing under the C3 Fiji project, as I mentioned earlier. This morning promises to be a very interesting webinar because we are going to be doing Talanoa with Amin. And today, this morning, we are, of course, very privileged to have the Honorable Minister for Agriculture, Waterways and Environment, Honorable Dr. Mahendra Reddy, that has now joined us live from the Ministry of Agriculture headquarters. And he is going to be with us for about an hour from now, and he will be responding to questions that you have. The format of this webinar will entail initially a short presentation by the Honorable Minister, and then we will have question and answers. So there will be a lot of hope for you to Talanoa during the question and answer session, which we would like to be the of the two moments of our webinar this morning. So once again, and once again, we'd like to very warmly welcome everybody. This morning, as I've said, our main presenter is going to be the Minister for Agriculture, Waterways and Environment, Honorable Dr. Mahendra Reddy, who of course is no stranger to most people, I assume, that have joined us. He is somebody that has been very prominent in the public sphere for a very long time. Somebody who used to be an academic, was a lecturer at the University of the South Pacific. Later on, he became the head of School of Economics, was Associate Dean of the University of the South Pacific. Then he became the Dean of the College of Business, Tourism and Hospitality Studies at the Fiji National University. And then he contested the 2014 elections under the Fiji Fest party, and he managed to win his seat, and subsequently he was appointed the Minister for Education. And he is now serving his second term as Minister, and after the 2018 appointed the Minister for Agriculture, Waterways and Environment. Apart from his political career, he has got a very illustrated academic career. He has been one of the most prolific researchers of our region, of the entire South Pacific region, that is, when it comes to various issues relating to the economy, to political economy, governance, and a whole range of other research areas that he has worked on. So we'd like to welcome the Honorable Minister to the webinar, and I'd now like to invite Honorable Dr. Reddy to talk to us initially about the initiatives and the strategies and the plans that the Ministry of Agriculture has announced following the outbreak of COVID-19 in Fiji, announcement particularly that was made on the 20th of April this year, and the government's plans that are there for agricultural expansion and for ensuring food and nutrition security for all Fijians. Very good morning to you, Dr. Reddy. Welcome to this webinar.
Good morning to you, Mr. Lal, and my warm greetings to all the other participants on this discourse here this morning. When you were introducing myself, I was basically raring to get into this and start the discourse. I was about to barge in, and Nilesh, if I may call you that. Uh, the strategies and the framework that are outlined just as COVID-19 began, was the same framework and strategies that I announced some time back. I gave a public lecture at FNU. I also I gave a ministerial statement on where I want to take agriculture and how I want to take agriculture. Now, if you go back to our strategic plan, basically we outline in the strategic plan that agriculture can be one of the leading sectors of the economy. And I said that for far too long, we have been treating agriculture like a welfare ministry and a welfare sector. Often when arguments were made to increase government allocation for agriculture, people were saying that agriculture is important for livelihood, agriculture is important to for so many people are dependent on agriculture sector. But hardly ever we were arguing that agriculture can be the mainstay of the economy. Agriculture can be the leading sector of the economy, like it used to be before. Now, but having said that, agriculture sector did not decline. It is just that the rate of growth of agriculture sector has been very, 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 very low. But agriculture real output has been increasing, but it has not been increasing to its full potential. And it is evident if you go around Fiji, you will say why, because agricultural main support base is land, and you'll see the volume or the acreage of land that is out of agriculture, not only new potential land that can come under agriculture, but the existing land that was under agriculture, I would say a good 30% are lying idle, which used to be under agriculture before, under crop before, and livestock before. I mean, there are large schemes which got vacated. For example, Yellow Bow scheme. Yellow Bow scheme is over 1,000 acres. Used to be under beef cattle. That is now totally defunct and dormant since about 20 years ago. So what we are saying is that, first of all, we need to change the mindset in agriculture where we treat agriculture like an economic sector, where if the agriculture sector grows and expands and develops, then the other issues of welfare, livelihood, all those will be solved. And let me explain how. When the agriculture sector grows and expands, and therefore surplus is created, that surplus will be then distributed to all those who are participating in the agriculture sector. So what I'm saying is that what we need to do is we need to get agriculture to grow. Whatever means, whatever ways, when agriculture sector grows, those who are supplying land, they will be paid a higher rent. Those who are engaged in the agriculture sector with the labor will be paid a higher wage rates. And you can see that how wage rates have, over the last 3 decades, in the agriculture sector, wage rates have gone up. Minimum wage rate is way below than what is being now paid in the agriculture sector. Financial sector will benefit through lending and interest rates, and the interest rates that will accrue to them. Landowners will benefit, by giving the land for engagement. Other factors of production which will be supplied to the agriculture sector, that will benefit. So I'm saying, let's not argue from the point to justify investment in agriculture by saying, that the people's welfare, livelihood, etc. Let's argue from the point that let's get agriculture to its rightful place in the economy. Let us expand agriculture, and then a growing and expanding agriculture sector will deal with all the other issues of welfare and livelihood. Now, when you get agriculture to grow at a commercial level, and that's what I'm after, I'm talk about that in a second, but probably I want to give more time to those who want to ask questions. When you get agriculture to grow at a commercial level, I'm talking about then we will be exploiting the massive opportunity out there in the export market. And that's what we are targeting. That's where we want to really get to, is to exploit the comparative advantage we have here, to exploit and take a greater share of the export market, particularly in Australia, New Zealand, America, and to some extent in Japan, South Korea, and China, which can be We just need a small size of the matter of China. So going back, I know we're pressed for time. So what are the strategies? The strategy is, first of all, I'm trying and grappling and fighting every day to get out of this dependent culture mentality. People are coming to agriculture ministry asking for money. And I'm saying, look, we are not a financial, we're not a bank. We're not here to bankroll them. We are here to provide you with support in respect to public infrastructure. The strategy we have is to induce production and supply by giving them market signals. Now, you could go and talk to farmers in any farm, any country. The major worry for them is that who will buy their product, who will pick up the product. So what we're trying to do is to work with exporters and agro marketing authority to take market signals to the farmer, to the farm gate. Now, just yesterday, I was in Loma Ivuna, where we got landowners to get together, form a cluster where they're starting with 103 acres of land, 60 acres in Dalo, 43 acres in Duruka. Day before yesterday, I was in Neta City, in Waito. We launched Waito Farms, where 153 acres are coming on Dalo and Duruka, Tosala, Urunugono, Duruka, and Bongo Chilies. They're going big time into commercial farming. Now, so what we need to do is to tell them that, look, you need to treat agriculture as a business, meaning that we will not come and provide you with chemicals, pesticides, fertilizer, and pick up all those operating costs. Otherwise, it's not a business model. We will come and do your drainage. We will do farm roads, the capital in infrastructure. We will assist you one-off with the seedlings, open pollinated seeds, and after that you will maintain and keep your seeds and planting material, and then we will come and provide you with the market. That is what people want, is market. If the market signal is there, they'll respond to it. Now, I really want to get away from inducing production and supply by giving subsidies, and that's why I'm very cautious. Really not to take non-sugar agriculture into down that line. So the strategy is now to go big time into commercial farming, and I think with commercial farming, unit cost will be lower. Farmers will be able to really pool their money and invest in machinery, because now with shortage of labor in the rural areas, we need to get agriculture mechanized. So having said that, I think it's important that I open it up. And I will respond to questions, and then we can fill the gaps if there are any. So I'm opening the forum up now, Mr. Lal, and then I'm happy to now respond to questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Reddy, for that presentation. So let's see, I've hit from the participants. I know that there are a lot of questions that you have. And then, of course, this is, I would say, quite a rare opportunity for you to be able to engage face-to-face with a senior minister in the government. So this is an opportunity for you now to put your questions across. You can use the hands up, raise hand feature that you have on the Zoom platform to be able to ask you any questions that you might have. While we are waiting for the participants to frame their questions, Dr. Reddy, one of the questions that was sent in, this relates to security of land tenure. I'm sure you'll agree that one of the reasons why the agriculture sector has not really been able to achieve its potential has been because of the fact that there has been this unresolved land issue, and then there has been this lack of tenure security, particularly for tenants, which do not really give them that sort of confidence to make substantial investments, capital investments and other investments into their farms. So has any work been done in this regard, recognizing the fact that this has been one of the major impediments to expansion of the agriculture sector?
Yes. Mr. Lal, initially this was an issue, and that was led to drop in confidence of farmers and also their children to peg their future in agriculture. And following, the SGL government then, when then TLTB decided not to renew a lot of leases, saying that landowners wanted to utilize the land themselves. And then what happened after that? They took back that land, and you can see some of this land in Wainikoro, and in Sabsagu, Mumi area, Tunalia, in Nindi, etc., are still lying idle because saying on the pretext that landowners needed that. So that because of that, at that particular point in time, a lot of farmers, able-bodied, good farmers, left agriculture sector. Also, they also basically told the children that look, there's no future in agriculture. Now, that is thing of the past. You can see that now people have interest in agriculture. They're wanting to go back to agriculture. 30-year leases minimum, which has become the de facto maximum in Alta, is not a bad length of lease. There are Chinese farmers here who are utilizing basically the short-term leases. So at the moment, we are saying we're taking land tenure system as given, and we are utilizing the available land, and we are also working with ETLTV to give us a list of all the land that they have, which is ready to be leased out. So our PS is working very closely with the current CEO of ETLTV to open up and give us the list by districts. For example, there is a commercial farm in Singatoka where I launched that particular farming, the commercial venture. They have just obtained a new set of piece of land, large piece of land to undertake commercial agriculture. So we are working very closely with ETLTV because they are the trustee of the landowner, and that's where the land is. And 92% of land is held by ETLTV in trust. So for time being, I wouldn't really spend too much time in really looking at that particular issue. At the moment, I'm saying that let's get people motivated and incentivized to come and pick up the available land that we have in the market at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the response to that. That has been a burning question for quite some time, and I think you have been able to shed some light on what the government's approach is in relation to making land available to those that are willing to farm it on a secure basis.
So on that, I also want to let you know that we are also in the process of getting a master lease from ETLTV, and then we will probably we'll take it in the next budget, or probably announce in the next budget, that we will put it out to potential investors who would want to then lease it from us. So that's another option that we're looking at. But in the interim, we are obtaining a list of all the vacant land around Fiji, and which ETLTP wants to offer. And once we get that, then that will be another source of another list where people can then go through and say, we need this parcel here. So work is being undertaken in that area. So, but I'm saying that already in the market there are land available which people can utilize. Number two, already farmers are sitting with large tracts of land where they've got residential blocks, but the land agricultural parcel is not utilized. So that's what we are now targeting.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We're still awaiting questions from the floor. Please be reminded that the Minister has to go in approximately half an hour. So
it's an open session. Any questions? No rules, no limits. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Take it on.
Okay, Broderick Mevin, I believe you had sent in a question. Would you be able to ask that question to the Minister now?
Honorable Minister, can you hear me?
Yep. I can hear you.
And thank you for the opportunity, and also to Dialogue Fiji as well for facilitating. One of the questions that I wanted to ask from the youth perspective is that, given the fast-pacing youth generation and sort of their lack of interest in the land, as we are all aware, young people more focused into a fast-paced approach and mostly technology, as you may be aware. So, how is your ministry sort of empowered or encourage young people to get involved in agricultural practices and in a way also make them innovative and creative so that a lot of Fijian youths can get engaged instead of being technologically savvy?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's a good question. Last year, we discussed with FNU and Navuso Agricultural College. We said that give us your graduate in Excel sheet, the name, uh, where they're coming from, and they must have land. They must have a piece of land. So let's say they're coming from Undu Point or Senganga or Rotuma, whatever. So we take that list of all these, the Navuso, the certificate program, and FNU, they have got this program, 1 year commercial agriculture program. Give us the list of the students. What we will do is we will do land clearing for them at our cost. We will do all the land preparation at our cost. We will give them planting material, and then we'll put a person, one of our agriculture officer, will peg it to the particular student to get their monitor them and give them technical advice. So this is under our young farmer program. That so every year we are able to get about 40 young farmer who has been basic training at Navuso Agriculture College and FNU. We will be pumping in at every year at least 40 to 50 young farmers into agriculture who will become commercial as a commercial farmer. So what we need to do is, given we are facing with an aging agriculture sector, we also need to pump in young, able-bodied commercial farmer who's got large tracts of land with the Matangali. So this is our program. So what we have said to Navuso and FNU is that we are happy to get them on board for workshops, short courses, short trainings, and make them our ambassador with regard to this program on commercial agriculture for young entrepreneurs.
Slightly lift the camera.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I don't really see any raised hands at this point in time, but there's a question that was sent in, and this is in relation to seed distribution in the West. So the question is it going to happen? Is it going to continue?
Okay. Following COVID-19, we made an announcement about several packages. One is the home gardening package. We said that we will give for the next about 6 weeks, we'll give home gardening seed package to potential households who want to do backyard gardening. As of last week, week before last week, Friday, we gave out 36,000 package. In each package, there's about 8 to 12 seeds for cabbage, tomato, etc. So we gave out 36,000 package. We now stopped from distributing the home gardening package. Reason being is that we think that let them now, these people over the last 6 we've obtained, let them continue. Most of these seeds are open pollinated seeds, meaning that they can then get seeds once they harvest. So we've suspended it till September. We are now wanting to concentrate on our farm response package, where any farmer who comes to us who says, I want to grow 10 acres of dalo, 10 acres of cassava, 1 acre of tomato, etc. So these are now, we are now targeting farmers, commercial farmers. So that is continuing as we speak. As you know, we handed out 5 tons of rice paddy seeds, 30 kg each, 30 kgs for 1 acre to FSC to give it out to sugarcane farmers whom we want to get them into rice growing. So that is continuing. It will continue this year. It will continue next year because we now into getting commercial farming, expanding. So seed, planting material, cuttings, these are all ongoing, except for the home gardening package, which we have suspended because we now want to move that material because we don't have unlimited supply of planting material, seeds in particular. So we are now devolving it to the farm response package. So yes, it's continuing.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Lemba Koroivuki, I believe you have a question.
Yes, hello, could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Honorable
Good morning.
Minister.
Good morning, Lema.
I really appreciate the opportunity. However, the question that I sent prior to the session was, could your ministry provide niche market for local farmers? And earlier on, you stated that that's one of the provisions that you will provide for markets for the local farmers. And my question in relation to that is, having to say, for instance, we have mass production from these local farmers. Have you considered the fact that if there's mass production, you know how everybody gets into the ideas and getting it so fast? They have production, but we need quality production that needs to be exported. Have you ever do you have a plan that it's in place in case they do not meet certain export criteria or requirements, and they are left with those produce? You know, I'm just thinking on the sense that these are perishable goods, and you know how our mentality is in our country. When we are not met according to our expectations, we lose the focus, we lose the interest of
Okay,
farming.
Lema. Thank you. Thank you for asking that question. Good question.
Thanks.
Number one, I want mass production. I tell you what, given the tourism sector is down now, where is all the dalo and cassava gone? Where is all the dalo and cassava gone? We want mass production. We are opening up. We have restructured AMA. We are now opening up. We want to go big time into export. We want to go to $1 billion export in 2 years' time. At the moment, we are doing about $50 million annually. Number two, you raised the issue of perishable product. The thing is this, I totally agree with you. I mean, if you're manufacturing, let's say, exercise books or pencils, etc., you can keep it for 2 years and sell it later on when the market opens up. We wanting to merge food processors with agro marketing authority. We want to go into value adding and processing. For example, we're going into mass production of bongo chilies. There's massive demand for bongo chilies within and outside Fiji. We're not able to fulfill the demand. That is why yesterday and day before yesterday we launched Waito Farms, and there we about 20 acres is devoted to bongo chilies. Yesterday at Lomaivuna, there's about out of that Dalo and Duruka, they're now also talking about getting to bongo chilies because we said we're going to buy all. So bongo chilies, we're going to process it into chili sauce, and there's massive demand for bongo chilies. Dalo, we're exporting frozen dalo as well. There is market. We are now, I tell you what, let's go to cassava. There was one exporter who was exporting, picking up yellow cassava from Solomons. So I said to them, why are you taking from Solomons? Why aren't you picking up from Fiji? He said, no, the white cassava, when we frozen, we take it there, we defroze. It's too soft. Indonesians don't like in Australia the white cassava. So I said, okay. He said, why don't you get Solomons yellow cassava? That's perfect. So we got Benga yellow cassava, freezed it, sent it to Australia. They said this is better than Solomon's. So they're now picking it from us. There is market, but we need to process it. We need to value add it. Perishability won't be an issue then. The problem is when you export fresh produce, there is an issue of time, and perishability. Now, cool storage facilities is not there. It's just to prolong the shelf life. So basically, we're expanding the processing part and value adding part so that we can take the volume and we can keep it. We can keep chili sauce for years and then sell it when the market is good. So we're going in terms of processing also through agro marketing authority. Also, there are other private food processors like cumin ginger. There are also those who are processing noni. They are processing. We are exporting ginger in brine to Brisbane to the Budrim Ginger company in Brisbane.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your contribution. And last of all, I'd just like to comment on your idea of the fact that we need to change a perception that agriculture could be a vital sector for the economy. Yes, I do agree because it could generate inclusivity in our economic growth. Thank you again, sir.
Lema, thank you. Yesterday at Lomaivuna, I said to the farmers that today when you sign the contract that you signed with Agro Marketing Authority, the first and foremost benefit is that we will pick up your produce from the farm gate at the base price. And I said, look, in case you find a better price, we will not stop you. But here we're getting the market to your doorstep. You're going to save a lot of money in terms of saving on the transportation cost. But I said there's one more dimension to it. I said, why after Winston and after this COVID-19, when FNP have opened up for people to come in and withdraw part of the savings, but farmers were not able to because farmers were not members of FNPF. I said, now when you have signed with IMA, we will come and make farmers members of FNPF so that they can also take advantage of the assistance that we are now providing, through FNPF. So not only that, but when farmers retire, they can also get a pension. They also can be on pension. So we want farming to be a profession. We want farmers to be a business person. We don't want someone to say, oh, he's or she's a farmer. No, we want to say he or she is an agricultural entrepreneur. And I'm saying I want farmers in this country to be no different than a school teacher and accountant. And we're going to get there, but progressively.
Thank you, sir. A very good concept indeed, because at the end of the day, a PhD graduate or whatever work you might have, you'll end up to the farmers to eat every day. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Like I think you too.
Question from Ropate Valimai.
Good morning, Minister. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Rupati, I can hear you.
Good morning, Minister. Thank you for your presentation this morning. I'm from the Consumer Council of Fiji. One of the complaints that we've received is the use of weedicide. I believe that the paraquat has been totally been banned, and it's been replaced by a weedicide called Samurai. My question is, the farmers are complaining about this particular weedicide. It's killing both plants and the weeds due to unclear specification of usage on the labeling. So what is your view, the view of the ministry, given that most of these farmers are less educated, and also the importance of correct labeling for them to understand on the usage of this specification?
Thank you, sir. First of all, you know very well our ministry's view. I hold the other portfolio of environment as well. That we want going forward over time progressively reduce the usage of inorganic chemicals, be it fertilizer or pesticides. Pesticides, be it weedicide or insecticide or herbicide or fungicide, etc. With regard to paraquat, the ministry, I checked the record, have been receiving numerous complaints about usage of paraquat for so long. And you also know this other dimension of suicides. When I became minister about a year and a half ago, within 6 months, we banned paraquat. And with paraquat, we also banned the use of imidacloprid, because imidacloprid, while it was utilized to control insects, but which was also having a negative impact on bee colonies, and it was affecting negatively farmers who are doing honey farming. So what we are doing is then after that we opened up another round of consultation on all the list of chemicals that we have. Ministry of Agriculture is the Director of Research, is the registrar of chemicals, so it holds the register of all the chemicals used. Now, I do hope that you did make a submission to that consultation. It's an ongoing thing. We're not rushing, because unless and until we have gotten a substitute, we don't want agriculture to be in a mess by removing abruptly pesticides. No. So we want to do it gradually. As we get a substitute, an organic substitute for these chemicals, we'll get. So now, this is the first time I'm hearing that this particular chemical, it's not a new chemical. We haven't added any new chemical on the list. It was an old chemical which has been utilized for. So if I have an issue, whether it's environmental issue or whether it's issue of farmers not being having good knowledge about this, we can deal with it. So I'm happy to look at the details of what the issue is. As you are saying, from what I can get it, that farmers are not understanding the specification well. So let me get that complaint. We're gonna have a look at that. So, but what I want to say is that all of us, I want you to rally behind making Fiji gradually free of chemicals. But overnight, progressively, we need to do that. You can see, I suggest you look at the incidences of diseases now, such as cancer, which is much, much higher than 4 or 5 decades ago. People are substituting labor with chemical utilization, pesticides, herbicides, weedicides, etc. So our first target now is to replace inorganic chemical fertilizer with organic fertilizer. We're doing a major project in Nagua. We are using poultry manure as a base, and we will give it out to all the households in Fiji, poultry manure, compost, agricultural compost, free. At the moment, for example, we gave 36,000 households the seed packages. Assuming these 36 houses are doing backyard gardening, what is happening? They're now ending up in Vinod Patel or RC Manuva, etc., buying 2 kg, 3 kg urea or NPK. I want to replace that. That volume times the number of bunnies, there'll be number of quarters, at least 4 quarters, let's say they go and buy. I want to replace that with organic manure. So that will be a major reduction in utilization of chemical fertilizer. Then I want to reduce the utilization of chemical fertilizer on commercial farms. Now, that will be, one, will have a major positive impact on the environment. Second, we will reduce the unit cost at farm level. So that's a big project. Similarly, we need to get substitute for chemicals, weedicides and pesticides, and then we can gradually phase it out.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, Jonas, I believe you have a question. Jonas, we're not able to hear you. Can you please unmute your microphone?
Okay, can you hear me, Minister?
Yes. I can hear you, Jonas. I can hear you.
Yes, thank you. I'm here in Lautoka. I want to ask a question on behalf of the consumer. A wide range of agriculture food that vegetables that have been in our markets. We know that we export the best quality, but we do not have the best quality of vegetables and fruits here in our own markets for our consumer. Has been a plan put in place in order to see that we have a good quality of fruits and vegetables for our local markets, even here in our own market in towns and cities.
Jonas, I don't think I would agree with you there. The cabbage, the tomato that finds its way to the local market, except for from Valley Road, the exporters, they do pick up those tomatoes which, let's say, there's no spots. Bacon, they also pick up because, the export market, they get a premium price, and consumers are very particular. But similarly, some of the supermarkets also are obtaining that particular quality produce in the supermarket. So if consumers are willing to pay a premium price, then they may go to extra supermarket or MHS or RB or etc. and pick up the same produce from there, but at a premium price. So the question is, you need to understand, as a consumer, consumers are price sensitive. Consumers are price sensitive. So consumers are going and looking for in a market, in a local market, municipal market, vegetable market. It's a fairly representative of a fairly competitive market. Consumers there go and they will then bargain on the prices and buy. But if they are so sensitive in terms of quality, then I'm sure they can go to the supermarkets and they will find that the quality of the produce is much better there. But they will have to pay a premium price. So at the end of the day, price dictates the quality of the produce that you will get on your table.
Thank you, Naka Minister.
Naka.
Okay, Manvik Gounder, I believe you have a question. You had sent in a question. Would you like to pose it to the minister? Manvik Gounder. So the question that was sent in by Manvik was, how is the ministry encouraging organic farming?
Okay, Nilesh, at the moment, we are developing organic manure. We've obtained 10 acres of land in right in the interior of Navua, because we cannot dump poultry manure at any other place because of its nitrate content. We want to, as I alluded to earlier on, we want to give out small packets of organic manure to test. We want to target the home gardeners in the urban area, and then we will move to the commercial farmers. So in that way, utilization of chemical inorganic fertilizer will reduce. In the same time, if we are able to phase out the utilization of chemicals, pesticides and fungicides, weedicides, etc., then it will be basically organic product. So it will take time, because at the moment psychologically people basically think that they can't grow any crop without fertilizer and without any application of pesticides. So progressively we will have to get there, and we are working towards that. And then at the moment supermarkets do sell organic manure, but it's very expensive. You can buy a 10 kg bag, I think it's around $25 from one of the supermarkets, hardware shop, which is, to me, it's quite expensive. So we're looking at providing this free, and then developing this culture where farmers will have their own compost, and they'll take our organic manure and mix it with their compost. Our organic manure will have nutrient enhancing bacteria. So nitrogen enhancing bacteria, phosphorus enhancing bacteria, potassium enhancing bacteria. So when they mix this with their compost, so they will have a larger volume of manure to be utilized in their farm. So in that way, we will be able to spread our manure with this nutrient enhancing bacteria throughout Fiji. So we can then achieve volume, because we are expecting the farmers to have their own compost pits where they will mix our manure with their compost pit. So that is the way we're targeting to kind of spreading and displacing inorganic fertilizer. And later on, if we're able to displace chemicals, pesticides and weedicides, then we are home with regard to gradually developing and producing products with organic base.
Welcome back. We are having Talanoa with Minister, and joining us this morning is the Honorable Minister for Agriculture, Waterways and Environment, Dr. Mahendra Reddy. And the next question that we have received that was sent to us earlier was in relation to the prices of vegetables in the fresh produce market. So during the pandemic, many people or many vendors are taking advantage of the low supply and are increasing prices of vegetables and other fresh produce. What is the ministry intending to do about that?
Look, I mean, we need not interfere in the market, operations of the market. There's no short-term solution to price hikes. Price hikes are a normal phenomena in any agricultural market. There are seasons where crop volume are high. There are seasons where crop volume is low. Basically, the only solution to solving the issue of high vegetable prices is to push in volume in the market. Now, let me give you an example. What is the dollar price now? It's gone down. What's the price of cassava? Gone down. What's the price of duruka? Gone down. Because the volume available in the market has gone up. Cassava has gone up. Duruka has gone up. And because of this, the prices have gone down. Secondly, over the last 8 weeks, the amount of people engaged in backyard gardening has really pushed up a lot of vegetables in the market. Cabbages, tomato, bean, okra. And you see now the prices of these vegetables have gone down in the market. Someone called me from Latoka and said, Minister, Dr. Reddy, thank you very much. Cabbage prices gone to 50 cents a bundle in Latoka. How far that's true? I don't know. But I'm saying the only solution is to push more production in the market. Automatically, the market will fix itself. That's the solution. No other solution in terms of interfering in the market or moral suasion, etc., to the vendors saying, reduce your price. No, it won't work. The supply chain is there, and the supply chain will work as per the market conditions.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for shedding light on that. Okay, I don't really see any hands up at this stage. So this is one final opportunity. If you have a question to the Minister, this is your last opportunity to be able to pose that question directly to the Minister.
Nevertheless, given that we have got limited time today, I'm happy to come on board again, maybe in a few months' time, and collect as many questions and get as many people who want to come on board. I'm happy to come and share what the plans that we have, and also listen to people and their views. And some very good contributions are coming and will come in future as well. So I'm happy to take any last question, and then we will catch up again. So I really want to thank you very much for organizing this forum today.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We will definitely be delighted to have you back on board for a similar Talanoa later on. So we'd like to thank you very much for your time this morning and for your excellent responses that you have made. And I believe that they have been very enlightening. They have really been able to inform people about the various questions that they have, the various issues that they're facing, and they're way better abreast with what the government is planning for them, and what are also some of the responsibilities, hopefully from the conversations they would know what are some of the things that is within the responsibilities of government to do, and what are citizen responsibilities also, as we embark on a very ambitious mission, I would say, to make agriculture the mainstay of the Fijian economy, as we strive to reduce the over-reliance on a volatile sector like tourism, and make agriculture the leading economic sector of the Fijian economy. So thank you very much, Dr. Reddy, for joining us today. And we'd also like to thank all the participants that have joined us and who have participated in the Talanoa today, and also those that have sent in questions. This is a activity that we are implementing under the Upholding Citizens' Constitutional Rights for Democratic Consolidation, or the C3 Fiji project, which is implemented by International Idea Dialogue Fiji, Pacific Center for Peace Building, Citizens Constitutional Forum, and Media Watch Group. So thank you everybody for joining us this morning, and we hope to be back with a similar session in the near future, where we talk about various issues that shape the lives of Fijians, and we also present to you an opportunity to interact with people that are really able to make a difference in resolving some of citizens' concerns, and in ensuring that we are able to grapple better with a unprecedented crisis like the COVID-19 pandemic is presenting for all Fijians. So Vinaka Vakalevu for your time, for your contributions, and we hope to see you back soon.
Thank you.